By the way, before I start the video, I need to do an important thing. हम तेरे बिना अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा. I know it sounds weird, but the recorder application in this phone can make your voice notes into actual songs. So let's wait till the end for the result. This is the Pixel 10 Pro. You can call this iPhones of Android, but after using this for a while, I have few things to discuss. I know the bezels are not as slim as the iPhone 16 Pro, but the in-hand feel is almost similar to holding an iPhone 16 Pro. This is the first time TSMC has made a Tensor chipset for Google. So how is the chipset? Does it throttle? How is the gaming performance? Everything we'll discuss in detail. It's true this has a 6.3-inch Super Actua display, and my god, it's a great display. Even under direct sunlight, the visibility is something that you have to see and feel. In front and the back, you have the Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection. The back side has a matte silky finish with a glossy Google logo. The design is very similar to last year. It variably switches from 1 Hz to 120 Hz, and when you're using it, this display feels absolutely smooth. But if you see this AI core, it's around 7 GB. Just after turning on the smartphone and connecting to internet, within 24 hours it has downloaded around 20 GB. I mean, if you ignore the 2 GB that I used for the Call of Duty, it's called Magic Cube. I don't know why, but in India you get 16 GB of RAM paired with only 256 GB of internal storage and no other option. That too, they claim it's UFS 4.1, but the speeds does not look so. You get higher variants with zoned UFS, but India is not in that zone, I guess. Like in iOS 26, you get the 3D depth effect wallpapers you can set, and even faded wallpaper in the always on display. The ultrasound fingerprint scanner on this phone is pretty fast and accurate. Because of Android 16, the design elements has changed, and you can notice it in many applications. It takes the theme of Material 3. 50 megapixel main camera, 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, and 48 megapixel 5x telephoto camera. If you don't know how to take a photo, open the camera application. Just above the question mark, you will see this icon for camera coach. Just point the viewfinder and click on the camera coach, and the AI will analyze the scene and tell you how you can take good photos by suggesting some. Just click on any of the suggestion and follow the instructions that the AI is telling, and you'll get such good photos like how they showed in the inspiration tab. Now, if you're going to zoom and take a photo and you go beyond 30x, the preview and the photo looks a little bit grainy. If you wait for some time, the ProRes Zoom AI engine just kicks in, and magically the photo gets enhanced, and this everything is done inside your device. You might have noticed that I told initially it downloaded around 7 GB of files, which is basically the on-device AI, and that is behind this particular upscaling. It works until 100x. If it's a large text, it can easily figure out. If it's a common object, still the same. But if it's a moving object, then sometimes the moving part is a little bit grainy. But even in very night situations, it can figure out still images. So it works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes, but it's an on-device AI, so the more you use, it gets trained more and the output becomes better. You can take 1x and 2x portraits, which is decent. Just tap on the 12 megapixel on top and you can take 50 megapixel high resolution portraits. Click a photo, and then later when you check in the gallery, it shows a high resolution portrait. But you don't have an option to take a 5x portrait photo. I know with a 5x photo, the natural bokeh is fine, but if the subject is smaller, the bokeh is better. But if it's a larger subject, then you have to click a normal 5x photo and then go to the Google Photos app and add the blur manually, which I felt is not great at times. And if a photo is enhanced using AI, just go to the information section and you will see the specific tools that has been used for the enhancement. So all this AI thing is taken care by the new Tensor G5 chipset. And because of that, what I noticed is whenever you're doing a task which demands the on-device AI, the phone does heat up, especially if you are using the ProRes Zoom or the high resolution portraits, etc. It does heat up a little bit. But when you're using the phone normally for all the other tasks, I did not feel any heating at all. The phone was very chill, smooth, the frame was cooled. But I want to take it to the upper limit, so I did try a throttling test and I was disappointed. It throttles easily till 64%, which means you are not getting even 3/4 of the total performance of the chipset. I'm not saying it's bad, I just asked the Google Gemini, and even Gemini says this is not a good score for a smartphone that's priced for 1 lakh. Even if you're taking Antutut scores, it's around 1.2 million, which is not even close to Snapdragon 8 Elite or Apple A16 Bionic, because those are in the 2 million league. Now this is somewhere around 30k phones. So you can expect the gaming performance of what you will be getting in a 30k smartphone. And yes, you can play Call of Duty in 60 FPS in high settings. It's not an issue, even 90 FPS in low settings. But the main highlight of this chipset is the Tensor processing units. That is the thing which is running behind your phone for all the AI things. So the maximum potential of this chipset is used by the thing called Magic Q, which will take time to adapt. You need to use your phone at least for a week for all the things to seamlessly work behind. But I'll tell you a few of the interesting examples that I saw. Pixel has a dedicated screenshot tab, so you just take a screenshot of anything and it analyzes the screenshots and gives you a summary of that. So I got an email of a flight confirmation which I had taken a screenshot, and it has analyzed the screenshot. Now it gets automatically added to your calendar. Say your friend just texts you on Google Messages asking when is your flight, then immediately you get a Magic Q which takes the information from your Gmail, from your screenshot, from your calendar, and automatically shows it there, so you can just tap on that and your friend gets the information. So all this backend work has been taken care by the AI. Even if they ask about flight details, again it fetches it from all the sources from behind. There are a few other use cases, like suppose you want to call your flight and say change your seats. In the call assist you get the Magic Q wherein you should see the PNR and other details, but again you have to use the phone for a while for this to understand you. Even if you open the weather apps, you get a detailed summary using AI for the analysis of that particular day, and you get the notebook LM, which absolutely blew my mind. Say you watch an MKBHD video and you want to discuss it with some people, but you don't have any people lying around. Just copy the link and put it in your notebook LM, and then click on the studio and wait for it to process. Once it's processed, you can listen to it as a podcast, or you can just customize and join in. Once you join in, you can actually take part in the podcast conversation. Just see for yourself. Hey, I need to know, like, is it worthy to upgrade to a Pixel 10 Pro?
That is a fantastic question to kick us off, and actually it gets right to the heart of what we're talking about today.
Yeah, totally. Worthy to upgrade. It's not always just about the specs, is it?
Exactly. It depends on so many, on just the phone itself.
And we're going to dive into why that decision feels so complex.
Today,
now let's listen to the first song that we sung. So the audio is being analyzed. You can just choose which is a vibe. I'll just choose romantic and let it process for some time, and let's hear what it sounds like. तेरे बिना अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा, क्योंकि तुम ही हो, अब तुम ही हो, जिंदगी Apart from that, in the keyboard itself, you have options to summarize, proofread, etc. And if you're a person who writes journal every day, there is a new journal application wherein you can just jot in few of your points and AI will automatically recognize it and gives you motivation to write more or console you, etc. Voice typing is something that is great. If I am saying how are you going and I want to change going to doing, just say it like that and it automatically recognizes you have to change and it changes it on the fly. All new Pixel phones comes with Pixel Snap, which is similar to MagSafe. I mean, all the MagSafe accessories do stick on to Pixel, and it supports fast charging wirelessly. But for me, I just prefer using a MagSafe case. It does the same job. But again, like iOS, you get the standby clock features, etc. The AI also manages the battery well. I just charged it maybe a day before and easily lasts me for an entire day. There is no issue with the battery backup, and it shows me intelligently on the top till when the battery would be lasting. On the back of the phone, you get a temperature sensor which is almost accurate. I tried it measuring with an actual thermometer, and also I really like the haptic feedbacks on this device. It is like a benchmark for other smartphones. It even has a new Google Gemini which can point out certain things on the display when you ask for it. I generally don't do in-depth camera tests, but I have taken few photo samples, and yes, the Pixel photos are natural. It's not punchy, vivid, bright, etc. It looks like how you see it is, so it's great for post editing, but out of the box photos are fine. You can shoot 4K 60 FPS on the back camera. I like the front selfie camera as well. Even in the front selfie camera, you can shoot 4K 60 FPS videos. That is also stable. You take a video in 4K, you upload it to Google Drive. It uses AI and processes it and gives you 8K videos. But again, if it's a 60 MB video that you have uploaded, it comes back in a 1 GB file, which takes a lot of time. So after using it for some time, what I felt is, if you are going to purchase it right now, just wait for the price to drop around 80k. That would be a better price. Apart from AI, if you look at the specifications, it is not worth for the price. But again, if you are a person who wants a clean Android with the best AI experience and stuffs like that, definitely you can go for it. The experience will not be disappointing. So that's my take on this new Pixel phone. So until next time, bye bye.